I used to go to forums there, and there was me and 9 Democrats, and they're not rural Democrats in Iowa City. They are hard left university Democrats. So that was always interesting. But I appreciate you coming here. Craig told me to greet everyone. I'm sure he'll be back again another time. He does have we already have a series of what's going to be many conference committees, I'm sure, before this is all over, because the House and the Senate are not agreeing on a whole lot of people, that's for sure. Just a couple of things, and then I'd open it up if anybody has any questions. Some things that we have done and some things that we want to do. And before I move on with that, I want to say something about, since I'm in Altoona, I want to say something about your legislator. Kim and I have been, don't worry Kim, I practice this. Yesterday I was in the chair, and sometimes when there's debate and such, you don't get a chance to hear everything, obviously, because you're going in and out of subcommittees. So I was actually in the chair, and so I got to hear most of the homeschool driving debate, and Kim just did a fantastic job. You just saw a little clip of her on television, but she handled things. She was peppered quite heavily with questions. That's kind of you wouldn't think that would be a major issue, but it is. It's kind of a line in the sand that they've drawn through the years, and that the teachers union has drawn through the years. And Kim just handled it wonderfully. She kind of calmed the aggression with her calm demeanor and answered everything. It was wonderful when they asked her to yield. And she said, "Are you saying that you're not worried about safety?" No, I'm not worried about safety at all. And do you have any studies to confirm that? Why, yes, I do. Do you want me to take some of your time to quote them? Yes, I do. Then she just started quoting and took the air completely out of everybody's sails. And then Kim and I are also serving on a subcommittee that will be bringing forth an amendment to a bill probably on Monday, I would imagine, or Tuesday, on eminent domain and practicing property rights. So that's and hopefully protecting more property rights, and especially kind of the epicenter of that is in Clark County, down around Osceola, where the lawyers down there and a few developers have found a hole in the 2006 law where we overturned the governor's veto at that time, and so it's very important that we plug that hole, or else there's going to be a whole lot of water come through in a whole variety of places. So we're going to be hopefully plugging that hole and pushing that through and protecting those landowners down there. They're trying to take recreational ground under the guise of drinking water, and it's a little difficult situation to deal with because it's very hard to dig through it, but we're going to do that. In terms of the House so far, we're very pleased with where we've come, and we've got probably 3 major areas that we need to go and we need to head in a direction yet. First thing is, of course, one of the first bills out of the chute was the $500 million cut. We took some very tough votes. Some of our freshmen, we had 21 of them. Some of our freshmen were baptized by fire, that's for sure, because there wasn't anything that we left alone in terms of what we needed to do. We thought it was a good bill. We thought it was a justifiable bill. Obviously, you probably know. If you don't, it went over to the Senate. They took the $500 million and sent us back $30 million. And so we're going to be coming back again with a lot of those areas that we believe are important that we cut. And excuse me. And we'll be sending another bill. And if that one comes back to us, we'll be sending another bill. And we're going to continue. Now, obviously, in the end, there's all going to be negotiation. In the last week or so, you'll have Mike Gronstall and Craig Paulson and Linda Upmeyer. Linda's our majority leader, and Governor Branstad and his team in a room. But I can almost assure you that the House Republicans are going to be the low figure on the budget. I can almost assure you that the House Republicans are going to be the high figure on the tax cuts. And we're going to hold as steady as we can. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have a Republican governor. I've never served under one before. I honest to goodness, when I went down to meet with Governor Branstad the first time, I had to ask where it was at, so I'd never been invited since the Vilsack years. And people like to make a big deal out of where we disagree. In the big scheme of things, to have a governor on the other side of what we're trying to do, willing to sign and willing to use his bully pulpit in order to bring us there, I can't tell you what a difference that is. There was a couple of times that I met with Governor Colbert, and I'm truly not trying to be deliberately cruel or condescending or anything, but honestly, folks, I would leave there, and I'm a teacher of history and government at Muscatine Community College, and so I knew a little bit about the system, and I would leave there and there'd be times I'd just shake my head, you know, just almost aghast at how little he knew in terms of the big picture. And again, I'm not trying to be deliberately condescending. You go in to meet with Governor Branstad, and you get a history lesson of the last 3 times that this issue was dealt with and the different strategy. It's like walking into a different universe from the perspective of being in the House, so it's just wonderful that way. Obviously, you know that we've sent the marriage amendment, as we said we would, to the Senate, and Mike Gronstal, he still doesn't seem to be budging at all. To be honest with you, he doesn't seem to be afraid of any ramifications or repercussions of that. But we've sent that to him, and we'll see what he does with it. It's in the Senate committee. It can be brought up at any time, and we'll see if he does that. We passed a 20% across the board income tax cut, and probably the most important thing about that is, according to LSA, and it's not our numbers, but according to LSA, that's going to help 100,000 small businesses. 100,000 small businesses, especially the LLCs and the sub-S, and that we believe very, very strongly that that's an important part, an important component of what it is that we're trying to do in terms of economic development. Yesterday was kind of education day. We had, what was it, 3 school choice essentially bills to help Iowans. And it was all party line, almost all party line on those choice votes. We even had one that tried to strengthen our charter school laws for innovation and such. Straight party line vote. Even on the floor, even dared to say that it really doesn't matter. Even though you've got even a superintendent in the Iowa City schools saying, yes, this does matter. This is important for innovation. So we're going to keep doing what we're going to do. There's really 3 areas that we're going to work on yet. All of those areas have carriers that will pass the second funnel. So there's a second funnel coming up at the end of next week. And all of these are funnel proof for a wide variety of reasons. One is the property tax. There will be a property tax bill. And again, people are asking me, well, which one are you going to do? You're going to do the governor's plan? You're going to do the House plan? Folks, I am just thrilled we've got a plan that's going to happen. We're going to work out the details. But the important thing is that for the first time since I've been there, probably the first time in a decade, there's going to be something emerge from the House that in a realistic way, in a fundamental, pragmatic way, is going to change and start to make a dent in property tax relief and reform. That's important. We've been talking about, since I've been there, I think there's been 3 studies. I haven't read one because they all say the same thing. Nobody wants to actually make the steps that you need to. So that's going to be coming. There will be a marriage on life, or there will be a vote on life, and then there will be a vote on the Second Amendment, at least one. We've still got to work out the details of which bills, which issues, maybe more. And again, people are making, the press likes to make a big deal of, well, which one are you going to do? And the fact is that there is going to be, Mike Gronstal is going to have a life bill, at least, to deal with in the Senate. He's going to have a Second Amendment bill to deal with in the Senate. He's going to have a property tax bill to deal with in the Senate. We're going to send those over to him, and all of those details are going to be worked out, and Kim is in the midst of all of that.